This is The Party with Serene and Pearl. Get it right, Poddy.
It's the THP, and I'm caffeinated today, baby. How are you girls feeling?
Caffeinated.
I slipped up and drank too much coffee, and I shot it too on the way here. I was trying to get here.
Because you came in late, too.
I rode my motorcycle screaming Queen songs.
Did you? And then when he got here, the reason he's breathless, he just got down and did all these Mike Tyson push-ups.
I'm trying to burn something because I feel upsettingly caffeinated.
Okay, I have less caffeine in my body than both of you, and I wanted this to be kind of a serious, kind of detailed party. And now you two are both caffeinated and you're going to destroy my party.
Well, I just want
we're gonna ruin
to
the
label
show.
what we just did for the treasure hunters. What am I going to call it?
Pre-party fun.
I always say that.
Behind the scenes.
Hashtag BTS.
So if you guys don't mind, may I, with nary a rabbit trail, just dive into the topic?
Yeah, sure. We'll give you that today.
Because that never happens. I wanted to talk about just the fundamentals of Trim Healthy Mama, which really are the fundamentals of basic healthy eating. I want to go back to basics. Why? Because on this party, we take you on lots of journeys. We take you into the future. We take you sideways. We take you full circle. And that's all great. And that's what Serene and I are excited about. But I was thinking, and I hear some reaction is sometimes, but can we just stick to basics? So today I'm going to do that because I was thinking, I hear you. I have some hobbies, some passions, some different things that, I don't talk about here. One of them is peptides. I like to research peptides, and I feel like I started doing this. Peptides are things in your body, and they're going to be the future of medicine. Mark my words.
Mark
me. That's an inside joke for those of you who've watched Outlander.
Only with video, by the way.
But anyway, I've been studying them for about 3 years. I thought that I was kind of knowing my stuff, but I forget my stuff. And I was really thinking to myself the other day, man, I wish someone would just do a basic podcast on peptides so I could kind of relearn some things. And then I thought, Pearl, you jolly hypocrite. You expect our potty listeners to be right up there where you're at.
So we're going to go back to body weight squats instead of all the versions of weighted. So we're going to go back
We've
to
been talking about protein and how many grams of lutein you need and how many fuelings you need and the numbers and all that. But okay, that's all good. We don't want to stop doing that, but we should also kind of what the Bible says, gird up your loins, like make sure you've got kind of what you need to know about you. Mm-hmm. And let's go back there and revisit. If you're a vet, THM, that's okay because we all need reminders. Yeah. Some of the basics we forget, right? When we get all excited about future stuff. Does that resonate with you at all, Serene? Or you're only a future girl?
I've got special spandex and I'm on my special 3-wheeled Harley bicycle with the stuff. I don't want to come back down and
What has spandex got to do with it?
The high flying, we're doing tricks and stunts now. I don't want to come back to the training wheel.
Okay, but you're going to love these training wheels. Let's put our training wheels back on.
You said peptides?
Yeah, I was just pulling that out of my hat.
Oh,
it's just a subject I'm interested in.
Yeah, but you said peptides were the future of health.
Oh, they are.
Medicine. Of course, yes.
Okay, but that's not the basics.
Semaglutide, that's a peptide.
Think about some of the medicines out there right now. I mean, these weight loss medicines that are helping a lot of people, they're peptides. I mean, for the brain, there's cerebrolysine.
What's that one
things
that
in our own body.
What's that one you're going to help me get Sam on? Ipa.
Ipamorelin,
yeah.
BPC 157. If you're not familiar with peptides, these are just some of the ones, thymosin alpha 1. But okay, so this potty is not about peptides.
This is not that, because I'm about to rabbit trail hard.
Okay, well, we'll do another potty about peptides because they are coming. If you're sitting here and have never learned about peptides, they're going to be your future. I predict it.
I feel like you've pronounced that word about 3 different ways.
Which one?
Peptides.
Peptides. No, there's only peptides.
See, you said Pepsi. You gave me Optimize Your Health with Therapeutic Peptides. I'm about to be a nerd too.
Okay.
Okay, but that's not the basics.
Sorry, not. I don't know. That's a book kind of on the basics. I've read a few books on it.
Jerry.
Okay, here we go. Can you two allow this podcast to happen the way I want it to?
Give me the peptides.
You want to let me go here. So I wanted to kind of, especially for those of you who are beginners and just joining us, we forget that we've got newbies joining us all the time just starting Trim Healthy.
It's true.
And
true.
I wanted to kind of go back and revisit what this lifestyle is all about.
You're so
I think there's
wise.
such a need for
She
it
is
right now.
so
Wise.
wise. Pearl,
Yeah, pearl of great price.
No, I
Yeah.
Pearl of wisdom.
what would... imagine us without Pearl.
I know. We would be. in a
We'd be doing
world of
armpit
trouble.
noises.
The sarcasm is dripping right now.
No,
It's-
Pearl,
No,
I am
they're-
so serious.
Okay.
You
Me too.
bring a level of
All right.
seriousness that we need.
I would say a
Never
level...
allow them this caffeine, guys. Never.
I would say
Stop.
a level of... a level of depth.
Okay, so
Yeah.
think about a newbie right now listening in. They don't
All right.
want to hear your little sarcasm. They actually want to hear what I'm about to say.
I was giving you a special speech.
Yeah, I know, but it was dripping with sarcasm. Okay, so right now I feel like there's a need for it because typically there is, but right now there are so many extremes when it comes to eating going on.
Yeah, there is. Oh, yes, there is.
More than
Yeah.
usual, I would say.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We've got carnivore, an
Yeah,
absolute extreme. It took keto and then took it to another level where all food groups except meat and eggs are kind of evilized.
Can I just say, there's a lot of thievery in that one.
Thievery.
I've just noticed that God loves to give gifts, and the enemy, the devil, he comes to kill, steal, and destroy, but he's a thief, right? He comes to thieve stuff. And these diets where you only get one thing to eat.
And I know a lot of people.
That's
People
thievery,
turn
like-
to them because they're desperate for answers for their health.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they've heard, okay, it cleared up all my gut.
Now, is it
problems,
valid
or-
then? If there's
No,
an
it's not
extreme...
valid then.
It's
Still
just
not
they
the
got
way.
rid of all their junk, so things do
I mean,
clear
when
up.
you go
Okay.
to an extreme, way of eating that is eliminating plants, is eliminating fiber. Yeah, a lot of things are going to feel like they're cleaning up because your gut biome is shrinking.
And so you
Okay.
get very quiet in the middle there.
Yeah, you're not having your little gas
Yeah.
times after you're eating. But I have to say, I've learned about gas, a lot about gas, and there's excessive gas, and we've had whole potties on gas.
I've had to give Pearl some special counseling phone calls and say, Pearl, you think you're better than other God's creation? You think you're better than the good old cows in your backyard? God created us to have some gas. Mm-hmm. And,
Well, that's
you're
what I've
meant to
come
have
realize.
some rumbles in the tumbles.
There's excessive
Look at the
gas, there's
cows.
painful
Yeah.
gas, there's all those, but certain just amounts of just gas, which is air filling up in your intestines.
He's a
as
musical
you
god.
ferment food.
Oh,
If
God's
you
a god of music.
And I'm off on the wrong tangent, Pearl. You said you weren't going to do trails, and here you are doing them. Okay, but all I'm saying is butyrate is such a good longevity, disease-fighting
Just say what butyrate is,
butyrate.
mate.
It's,
Yeah, just
it's
for
a
the
microbe.
new peeps in the room.
And
yeah, but
it-
it's just the fluff.
Butterate.
It causes
Yeah.
gas. It's brilliant, but it causes gas. Okay,
It's
end of
flammable
rabbit
too,
trail.
right?
Okay, there's carnivore. There is vegan. There are all these things out
yeah, I'm
there right
telling
now
ya.
that will strip away what you need. But
I
Why
took the gift of fire to El Salvador.
okay, the trim healthy lifestyle. Healthfully helps you find your ultimate trim. If that's what's needed, if that's what's not needed, it helps you keep your trim, or it actually helps you gain weight without ditching entire food groups. THM eliminates sugar, separates carbs and fats if weight loss is needed, and grounds every meal with protein. That's the basics of it. I sat down, I thought to myself, Pearl, if you could do it in 2 sentences, what would it be? Those are my
Wow.
2.
I knew that you had put some thought into that.
Okay.
You said it earlier,
Yeah.
wise.
It was really good.
For real. I'm absolutely banning coffee. I kind of want you to be on the same page as me.
I'm trying so hard. I'm trying.
I get on your same page as
I'm-
when you got
I'm
50 million
trapped.
scriptures
I'm
and you're all analogy 10 layers deep,
trapped in
and
this
I
coffee
give you
body
some
and I can't get
seriousness.
out.
Or I'm crying about my kids.
I give you the time of day.
I know I'm really trying to be serious.
Not hard enough.
I'm 1,000% with you.
Thank you.
I
Look at
really
my
am
palm.
trying.
Carbs and fats are both important when it comes to nurturing long-term healthy weight through a thriving metabolism. Protein is also crucial. These are known in the scientific world as the 3 macronutrients. So we're getting so back to basics, right?
Yeah.
Macro is enlarged. Macro means large. And there's only 3 of them. Carbs, fats, protein.
That's pretty simple right
Okay.
there. Yeah.
I would just like it better if you said nothing right now. because whatever you're saying, your face doesn't match, okay? So macro means they have the largest nutritional impact on your body.
Sad things.
Pull one completely out and deficiencies and other issues happen. So,
I lost my cat last week. Well, it's 2 weeks ago.
I'm trying.
No, you said sad.
I'm trying.
I'm on your side, Pearl. I'm trying to sad her down.
I just need a tissue and then I'll be fine.
you guys aren't thinking of our listeners right now.
I'm
You're thinking of
100%.
yourselves.
No, I don't. I'm not thinking about this.
I'm
freak.
trying to actually make our potty a something
Valuable.
valuable.
Deep.
Oh, why? Thank you.
My goodness.
Instead of like, why are we wasting our...
Why would anyone ever take us seriously?
No, I'm trying to be serious. I hate myself.
John has no smart. He's not finding it. He's finding it immature. You guys, it's true. They said you're prepubescent co-host.
Hey.
It's so you're proving
true.
it to be true.
It's so
Proving
true.
it.
That's true.
I can own that. I was mad when I heard it at first. And I
it's
thought, I'm
so-
a
I
grown
wasn't
man
even
with kids.
Mad. I wasn't even mad. I just knew it was me.
Hey, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something. I was in...
All the newbies have gone. I'm talking to no one.
I was in... I sat with a friend.
Yeah.
His father was passing away.
This is sad.
His father was passing away, and we were in the palliative unit, and it was 3
In the what?
days of us, the palliative care floor
Okay.
at the hospital. It's 3 days, and
It's all you had to say. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's nothing's funny
it
anymore.
was this roller coaster of emotion.
Yeah.
He finally passed away, and his Alabama brother and sister came afterwards, and they showed up, and it was real teary and serious. And then they said, yeah, they were like, I remember when Uncle Donnie passed, and he was cremated, and we put him.
I was really in a good place till you put that accent on.
Hold on
you
a minute.
ruined it
Just
for me.
1 sec. Well, no, hold on. 1 second. She was like, and we put him in a helium balloon, and we sent him up to God. And this man had just passed away, and this was a serious moment. I scream laughed. Tears like shot forward out of my eyes. I was laughing so hard they were like spraying. And it was total silence around me. I couldn't see. I was laughing, so I was trying to be like, is anyone else like, oh my, I was mortified, and I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. I was just bowled over laughing. And I look up, I wiped tears thankfully to see the whole room was laughing with me and they were like, what is going on? I said, I was just imagining at some point Uncle Donnie's helium balloon busted. He could have landed in someone's coffee. Like, this is not romantic. This is not a magical moment. Uncle Donnie's ashes were, physics at some point kicked in. And that tickled me. And they appreciated it.
And the moral of it relates
You
here.
really
because
did really something good. The
Inappropriate-
first 60 seconds, I was all serious up. I was ready to go.
Inappropriate laughter.
Pearl has to get on, but I have to say something. She's sitting here all high and mighty, like she's above us. But I remember once when
Talk
we were
about her
recording
stuff.
Music Artists before this whole thing,
Yeah.
we were doing this show,
Yep.
and first song in, something made us laugh.
Yeah, it's hitting her. She knows.
And Pearl couldn't get it together. We both couldn't. But I'm a little sister. Of course I can't get it together. Pearl could not get it together. There was, we had to, people came, they paid money. We actually had to
that was then. This
leave.
is now.
We had to
Yeah.
leave. We failed. They didn't even want to pay
See,
us.
the difference is that you grow, you mature in life.
Everybody fluffs, Pearl.
No, Pearl, you were a married woman with children.
Okay.
Same.
Don't you think you're better than me?
So the 3 macronutrients are covered, right? We
Protein,
got carbs, fats,
carbs, fats.
Okay, but what about the micronutrients? Because this is what happens when you get into like diets like carnivore, even keto diets that are very
Yeah, but can I say you
low
don't
on
get
the
you don't
plants.
get your macros with a carnivore diet.
No, you don't. But why are they so important? Micronutrients are what are found in like things like leafy greens, berries, fruits, tubers, sweet potatoes, all those foods that are, for whatever reason, are kind of despised by some diets, kind of embraced by others, but they're your micronutrients. What they are is they fight diseases. I mean, they raise your immune system. They cause your body to methylate properly. So they turn your genetics on and off. And so they enable us to not just be at the mercy of our genes, but to be at the mercy of how our genes can be turned on and off to influence our longevity, our disease state, all those things. Micronutrients,
And
right?
what are examples?
They're the substances found in like leafy greens, flavonoids, things like that. Like when you hear turmeric or when you hear this is good for that, there are your micronutrients.
These are in the tomatoes, in the
Yes,
salad.
lycopene,
Lycopene,
things like
and then in the
In your green
black
tea.
rice and in the blueberries, it's thiamine.
So we're talking fruits and vegetables.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Okay. So here's how it works. Now, the difference is with Trim Healthy, we embrace all of it. We embrace the macros. We embrace the micros. We do not leave anything out except if it's harmful to you. In the case of devitalized foods, packaged foods that are full of white flour and sugar.
Are we allowed to go back to the macros? Why
Yeah,
we
you
embrace
can.
the macros?
You can.
Because
All
in
three
the
macros.
in the macros, you've got 2 fuels and you've got your protein anchor, right? And so some diets, they choose one fuel and they just want to go all the way home on that one fuel.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the carnivore, and the keto, and that's basically the fuel is fat for fuel. But they're missing out on the glucose for fuel, which is all your carbohydrates. And we were designed to first prefer glucose, right?
Question.
So it's a 2-engine plane and you're just chopping a whole engine off, but it was designed to be a 2-engine plane. Something's going to give at a certain
and
point.
you know what it will be? Your metabolism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember holding your hand up so
Yeah,
long
I
that
do.
you had to
Yes,
get,
you have
a break,
to
get
hold
the
it.
scaffolding?
You didn't even have a quarter second before you
That
held
didn't
it.
take long to have to help.
No, ADD is a medical condition. And I don't appreciate it being laughed about. Back to the question.
Yeah.
Is it appropriate to go on an extreme diet for a couple weeks just to get you get the pain to stop, or if you're having
Can I
something
just tell
wrong?
you a question? Tell you an answer to that?
That's why I
Do you
asked.
know your leptin can tank in less than 3 days?
I didn't.
With
Okay.
going off of glucose, and that affects your thyroid. That thyroid affects your adrenals. So I don't like ever extremes. Now, of course, for spiritual reasons, people fast all the time. I think God covers that.
What I don't love is like when you got the fasting out that. What I don't love about fasting is something that has been done throughout the ages, like the millenniums, right? For spiritual reasons. But here's what I don't love about it. When it is used for weight loss or metabolism, because what is thought to be the answer is actually the harm. And yes, if God is calling you to fast, then you do it. He's got you.
He's got
I would
you.
never talk against that.
No.
But when
What does that mean, God calling you to fast?
well, in the Bible, it talks about, they prayed and fasted, and it's not for God. God doesn't need our fasting. It's for people to get rid of their own distractions and actually, boost their faith, because they're kind of, sometimes we're so focused on food.
Yes.
We need to kind of get that
It kind of gets the
spiritual man in the
flesh,
forefront, because
out
our
of it.
flesh person is so strong.
Almost like a withholding discipline kind of thing.
And can I tell you another thing about these, we'll just do a little thing for 2 weeks. A lot of people use that, they go on extremes for a detox. I'm just going to do a juice detox. But actually, sometimes that can be more harmful
It
because the juice
typically is.
detox, it can be sometimes we're all about carbohydrates here, but if you have it in the base of carrots and apples, you can actually get too much carbohydrates quickly into the bloodstream because you've taken all the fiber out, it's liquid. So that can be inflammatory to the body. And also, when you take away certain things that actually help the liver detoxify, like eggs and the yolk and things like that, actually are incredible liver detoxifiers. And you take all that out and you're just putting some wonderful micronutrients in a carbohydrate liquid thing. It's actually counterintuitive
But do you know
to true
what?
detox.
People will drop 10 pounds, 2-week detox. Oh, it will happen. I promise you. But what happens?
It'll come
You
back.
actually, it's going to come back. Why? Because you've actually harmed your metabolism more by pulling out protein. So you've lost some fat, yes, but you've mostly lost lean body mass.
And is
because
that
you're not having your
sustainable?
protein. No, it's not
That's the
sustainable.
thing. That anytime I've ever done a temporary diet, if I've ever done anything that is under the category diet, I have regretted it, not been able to sustain it, very sad when I'm doing
Yes,
it. I'm always
yes.
very sad when I'm doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's so hard to
But
keep
I think
up.
I think everybody listening right now would relate to exactly what you said. Regretted it.
Yeah.
didn't enjoy it, and it wasn't sustainable.
It never. I mean, the nature of the word diet, you could replace it with temporary.
Right, but of course, diet in the broader sense of the term is just how you eat.
Yeah.
I mean, how you eat.
But we're
I
talking
mean,
a special
yeah,
way of eating that's
okay.
for a temporary time. Like it's so.
So the Trim Healthy lifestyle gets rid of sugar and white flour because what? Those are actual harm. They are poisons to your body. And you could go to every single guru that's promoting a lifestyle, and there's one thing that people have in common. There's one thing that we all disagree on things, but there's one thing we all
Sugar.
agree on. Sugar hurts you. So does
Yes.
white flour because it is sugar in your bloodstream. So to
Well,
get your...
they don't all agree. There are some wacko diets that try to help the adrenals, and they tell people to eat ice cream and orange juice, right? They go to a different extreme.
Okay,
but,
yes,
yeah.
but
Anyone with
okay.
credibility, you mean?
Yes. Anyone
Well,
with
actually, he's
credibility.
got some credibility. Pete, what's this? Okay,
Yeah.
it's a kind of a very, very random diet where he gets people to actually eat sugar and drink orange juice for their adrenals. But there are
Oh.
so many better ways to nurture your
Yes.
adrenals
There's
than that.
fruititians
you're gonna crash
too
in
out
that
there.
too.
Yeah.
What are the fruitopians or something?
Yeah,
go
but they
only fruit?
usually are against white sugar. So
Oh, okay.
most people, I would say 99% of people believe,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not talking a tiny bit of sugar will get in your diet here and there. You can have some 85% dark chocolate. There's
Yeah.
a small amount.
There's a
but
little
we're
bit
talking
mayonnaise.
about sugar that actually ignites your bloodstream, right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't really know anyone who's sane that thinks that that's going to be healthy for your body. They don't. So we all agree on that. So Trim Healthy gets rid of sugar and white flour on the whole. Of course, we don't have to be perfect, but instead focuses on two types of healthy meals, and these are your E meals and your S meals, and they are always, always centered around protein. And why do we need protein?
Oh,
They anchor our
yeah.
meals because they're going to steady our blood sugar,
Yes.
and because they're going to keep our lean body mass around.
And why do we want to keep our lean body mass, Danny?
Because
Make it good.
John.
Because it's your metabolic tissue.
Yeah.
It's the fire that stokes your metabolism.
Right in your bones.
More muscle in that bum, and you have more calorie burning during the day.
More muscle all over your
If you would
body. You
have
burn
given me a
calories.
second, I was going to say
And
that.
of course, it builds minerals in your bones, and of course, it releases myokines for your immune system.
Yes,
the
and
list
because
goes
it
on
actually
and on.
aids your brain. Yes, your IQ is raised. when
So
you have
let's just go
more
back
muscle.
and let's quickly just look. I mean, I don't even mind seeing this for me. And Serene, we invented this plan. But E-meals, E stands for energizing.
Yeah.
And these meals focus on healthy carbs. They have minimal fat and they include lean protein.
And it's very, very true. People say, well, you can actually get energy from fat. Yes, you can, but slowly. And so that's why you really can't do HIIT interval training on keto well, because you kind of hit a wall, right? But take that out altogether. You hit a wall in your metabolism because there's things going on in your body that you can't see that need to happen fast. They need to happen
Yeah,
fast. And that
yeah.
is part of your metabolism. Metabolism isn't
Okay.
just about if you can lose weight or not. Metabolism is actually the energy expenditure and what's actually going on in your body. And these things need to happen when they need to happen. And so without glucose, oftentimes everything is slowed down. Your metabolism has to
True,
slow
and we've
all the
experienced
time.
both sides of that. I mean, we have, and I've got a place down here at the end of the party because this is was supposed to be an organized
Oh,
party
you-
where we were going to go into what happens when we deprive ourselves of
You
each of these
need to take back
macronutrients.
control.
Yeah.
meals.
And that way it'll be safe.
Yes.
When you have control, you
That's-
feel safe in your heart.
Yeah.
So S meals stand for satisfying. These meals focus on healthy fats, have minimal carbs, they don't pull them right out, and they include either lean or fatty protein. So you see that difference? They are opposite of one another, right? These two meals. They're the weight loss meals on Trim Healthy Mama. When one celebrates fats, the carbs go down. When one celebrates carbs, the fats go down.
What
That
do you
way,
mean goes down?
they are both designed for
A
fat
seesaw.
loss. So those of you who are watching right now, yeah,
So when the carbs are up high, boy, I hope I shaved.
I was checking
do
actually.
it like this.
I
Do it
did a
like-
quick glance. I didn't stare.
When the carbs are up on the seesaw, the carbs are up on the seesaw, the fats are going to be lower. When the fats are up on the seesaw, the carbs are going to be lower.
What's the
That's when you're
seesaw?
wanting to look. Shut up.
I'm serious. Are you talking about your body?
A seesaw.
Just have you gone to a park?
You know
And
when
you're
you sit
like,
on a
No, I
seesaw.
know that, but I mean, how does this
There's
apply?
no seesaw
Oh,
in
in
your
your
body.
meal.
You imagine it in your mind.
We're talking about in a meal.
Why is
Okay, so
Leslie
Danny's
hollering at
never
me
read any one
from
of
the
our
table
books. So
with
let's
the
just.
puzzle on it?
This is actually good.
How
because
complicated can you make this?
Danny sat here for 6 years but never read not one of our books. So Danny, in a meal,
Hi,
let's
Pearl.
take our S meal.
Yes.
We are going to have higher fats, right? The fats are higher.
Okay.
So what happens to the carbs? In a crossover, they're like this. We usually, in a typical meal, you have fats and you have carbs.
And Pearl and I
pretend
and
the
you,
middle is protein.
you don't realize that, but you live on crossovers. We live on crossovers, and that's fantastic. It's all part of the plan. But if you want to lose weight, you do the seesaw.
start
But you
to-
see,
You
look
seesaw.
at these fats.
Okay,
So in
yes.
an S meal, because the fats are there, they're substantial. Look, those carbs need to go down so that we don't have to burn 2 macronutrients in a meal.
Oh, you're throttling the macros.
Throttling the macros.
Ooh.
Okay.
Light bulb.
Okay, so they're opposites one another, and then you've got the carbs in a meal. They're substantial here. They're
but
not
this is-
too high. They're
this
not
is what the
spiky, but
mamas know.
This is
Yes.
the mamas know. This is the thing you've missed
This
out on.
is Trim Healthy Mama.
Yes.
60 years later, baby. Hey, so
6 years later.
So okay, so
can
how
we
does
just take a moment? Can we?
I just want to
Can
say
we take a moment?
the slow learning is the best learning, and we have established it. Danny
Watching
now
every
will be able to
moment
write the book on this.
in this
Oh,
foolish
my
love
goodness.
is
Okay.
gay.
Okay, so the
Hey,
reason.
wait. This
Okay,
is
so 'cause he's just learning.
critical. This is
Okay.
critical. So you've got the seesaw of fuels, fats and carbs.
Right.
Yes.
How does the protein come
Always in the middle. Always.
Yeah, it's the
always
anchor.
It's the anchor.
It's that rock that they both teeter on.
in? It's the fulcrum.
Yes. And Danny, if you want to maintain that beef,
Yeah,
well,
I
you
do.
want you just want to maintain a good goal weight.
I do.
You keep those things steady on that protein.
We're
With
gonna
the
talk about
protein
crossovers
anchor
soon.
and but then the person who is maybe struggling with weight, they get to start
They
to play
do
with the
these
seesaw.
seesaws
Yeah.
playing. Yeah.
Because
What control?
Yes.
That's it.
What freedom?
Yes. And see the thing.
Cha 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 cha. You remember when you guys wrote a song with a syllable as the entire chorus?
Yeah.
Can we take a moment?
Okay, so can I have my moment back?
And it's
I'm
back.
so glad you've got that now after 6 years.
This is good.
Wow.
This is a good plan.
Do you want to go into do you want me to help you just get this control here? And are you going to go in and tell them like why your body can burn one fuel, or you just that's for another time? It's not basic enough.
Oh,
I mean,
actually,
we're in
you
a
I'm gonna allow
Light
you
bulb.
5 minutes on that.
Oh,
yeah.
We're
this
in
is
a
light
vein
bulb
right
time.
now.
I'm gonna allow
she
it.
was saying we seesaw it, right? We seesaw it. So I'm sure I did shave. I should be confident.
just
Okay,
try.
I see. No,
Oh,
I
you're
see a
good.
shave, but just the hint of a stubble.
You're good, but we are in 4K.
Okay.
Are we?
I think we're in
What
4K.
is that?
guys.
Like
We're
that
at 4K?
real life video that makes everything look so raw?
It
Means
depends
if we've
on the
got wrinkles
shadows.
on our face, they show.
The shadows and highlights, it could depend. Just
Oh,
let's see what you
no.
have. Just come on.
Just
come on,
be
I'll get mine
proud.
out.
Be proud.
Come on,
Okay,
girls.
so we're
Look at
You don't
Blah.
like man hair. I like man.
I like man hair on my husband, not
I
anyone
like
other
man hair in an armpit. I don't want them to shave. You know how men are shaving every
Well,
bit
that's
of hair
disgusting.
off?
No, I
It's-
like it on my own husband.
I like the
I don't wanna
70s look, you know? Like the hair's out, you know? And they the men wore short shorts.
Yeah, they did.
Like I'm doing it again.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know
do
you
it
are.
here. It's just public. But
I tell you
back
something.
at the
do you
hacienda,
want to?
Daddy's in Daisy Dukes.
Can I just tell you something about your light
And it's
bulb?
weird with skinny Italian legs.
Do
It
you
doesn't
want-
hit like the big German guys. You know, it's like, he's going to frame a house. With me, it's like, get this little man some coffee.
Okay. Do you want to go back to get your little slate out and chalk and write notes?
Yeah, come on.
Okay. So you were like, whoa. You put it on the seesaw so that people who want to lose some weight start
Yeah.
throttling with the numbers.
That was me.
Right?
That
and
was
then
me.
that way you can just burn one fuel at a time. Well, why? How can you just burn one fuel at a time, right? Not just because one is going to be predominant, right? Not just because of that, but because of a key factor to the body. The body is designed, it will always burn glucose first. You put both fats and glucose in, even in equal amounts, it's not going to say, oh, which one should I do now? Which one? No, it's like, okay, we always go for the glucose. Why? Because it's safety. It's your safety net. It's like we got to clear the blood sugar. This is what we do. We always clear blood sugar. When it comes in, we clear because we know what happens. Blood sugar left in the bloodstream, danger, danger. So we're going to get rid of it. So if you have a McDonald's meal, well, should we do a unhealthy meal or healthy? Oh, healthy. Let's say you've got your nice big sweet potato and you are a Danny. So you put a couple of tablespoons of butter in there, right? You're having a
Nice.
crossover meal, and your,
then
your
protein,
body,
let's just
yeah,
say.
the protein, but your body is going to start metabolizing that sweet potato first before it even touches the butter.
Puts your butter in storage for a little bit.
It will
storage.
where is it stored? In like
Fat cells. Puts them in temporary storage for fat
it'll
cells.
stick, so I'll get a little fat whether
It's
I notice
not
it or
gonna
not.
stay
No,
there.
it's not staying there.
Okay.
If
And
things are working
if
right,
things-
it's not
yes.
going to stay there.
Right.
Okay.
But
Okay.
so you're gonna you have to burn that sweet potato first. So for people who want to lose weight, right, their metabolism may be already a little bit tanked, maybe
Yes.
slower, and they may not be working out, so they don't have active muscle tissues that's hungry, like feed me, feed me, feed me. They can hardly they might get through a sweet potato, but they're not going to get through two. And they're not going to even start on the butter ever. So that temporary fat storage, it's going
Okay.
to say, we're going to make that permanent.
It puts
Thank
it in
you.
long term.
Because I can't even
Exactly.
get through this. Now, if you're a Danny, high metabolism, and your little Daisy Dukes, a little Mekihano, whatever you yeah, you're just burning too much. Too many calories playing your banjo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the wrong culture. in the
Singing
wrong country.
Guantanamera.
Okay, but you are going to burn through that sweet potato, and it's going to be like, where's that butter? I got to burn through that too. In fact, let's do another sweet potato and a whole another 2 tablespoons of butter. I can do the whole thing, thank you. But you're special.
You are special, especially in
Okay.
your Daisy Dukes.
Okay, so
special.
most people, if you want to lose or you don't want to gain, most people have to play with those seesaws, right?
Thank you, Serene. I loved that.
Oh, okay, hold the phone. So when you
So
said
if you want to burn through a steak with cheese on top of it, don't put carbs in, so it can straight away get to burning the fat.
You know what? We will hold on that, but we're going to come back right
Will
after
it-
we do these messages.
And we're back. So if I want to get protein like straight to the hungry muscles like you described, would I lower the carbs and fats in that meal?
Protein's not going to matter about your carbs and fats.
Except post-workout, yes, it is. Fat will
Oh,
slow it down.
yeah.
So that's why even the quickest bioavailable
Yeah.
way, or even better than that, free-form amino acids straight into the bloodstream, straight into
You don't
the
want to
starved
slow them
muscle.
down. Yeah. Okay, but that's different. That's a whole nother potty.
But I would like a post or pre-workout meal. Would I be thinking balance, or would I be thinking heavier on the
Most
protein?
people think if it's a couple of hours before, balanced. But afterwards, you just want to, hit it to
Feed
those
the
muscles.
You
muscles.
do pure protein. You don't do carbs and fats with it. If you want to do a post-workout, that's
Be-
why
because
you
the-
don't put the carbs and fats in there.
because the body will choose those first. Or am I
Glucose
getting
is
this?
always the first thing,
Yeah.
and fat slows everything down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just because this
Yeah.
is like mission critical when people start to get into their spandex and want to do the tricks, right? They start to throttle and mess with what they're ingesting so that they can get goals hit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so true.
Okay, so all right, so the reason we separate these fuels, fats and carbs, into 2 distinct meal types is so your body only has to burn one at a time, as Serene said. The result is you are able to start burning your own fat stores, aka you lose weight. Trying to burn through copious amounts of both fats and carbs in one meal takes a lot more time. It gives a slim chance for burning through both fuels than burning your own fat stores. Burning just one or the other primarily makes all the difference. Okay, so while S&E, we just covered them, are the main primary meals, since this is a lifelong way of eating, 3 other classifications are used in this plan depending upon what your body needs. So I'm going to go through them so quickly, but they're very important because you're going to use S&E, and I don't know how long it's going to take you to get to your healthiest weight.
And
Not
you can
even
throw
calling
a
it
few-
goal weight, because some goal weights are just
Dysmorphic.
They're wrong.
They're wrong.
Or made up out of thin air.
Yeah, it's like people
Yeah.
think they might need to be a size 6 when they were always meant to be a size 12.
Yeah.
No matter what. Because
I'm
they're
not
beautiful
gonna
that way.
look like Hugh Jackman in Wolverine.
And so crossovers, this is the, people think, oh, Trim Healthy is S&E, but crossovers are a huge part to play. And they
You can even use them while you're losing weight.
You can. And in our new book, Trim Healthy Wisdom, we're going to talk about different types of crossovers that actually help you as you're losing weight. But for now, crossovers are meals that put carbs and fats back together again. So, Danny, they're what we've always told you to do. They are not weight loss meals per se. However, they're incredibly nourishing. They're kind to your blood sugar levels, and they play a role in keeping your leptin levels from tanking. So that's why
Yeah.
they actually kind of can be used even as you're losing weight, because they support your adrenals, they support your leptin levels, they support your thyroid
They're
levels.
a meal to throw in now and again to tell your body, hey, mate, you just relax. We got
Yeah.
you covered. You're going to be a happy
And this
camper.
is what Serena and I have grown into. You'll discover now with our new book, Trim Healthy Wisdom, that I was working on it first, and I'm like, Serena, please come in here and help me. And I'm loving all the balance she brings. Is that crossovers we have, at first, it was like, you're losing weight, S&E on our plan, please. Now we've come to a point where we've grown in knowledge and we've seen firsthand experience. And 15 years later, after we first started writing that book, we believe crossovers are such an important part of this plan. There is S&E, but there is that crossover for when, also just to make you sane.
And can I
Serene.
say something about crossovers? Crossovers aren't just putting the fuel, those macros back together again on an equal playing field, because the fact is we're never going to say unending carbohydrate.
No.
A crossover has a particular number. You don't have to memorize it. You can almost just imagine it. It's like one generous medium sweet potato to large.
But it is 45 net.
Yeah,
if you
45 net if you need to know the number. It's like 3/4 of a cup of brown rice. It's like one mound of rice. It's not like a big pyramid plate. So it's
Fistfuls?
Need. Yeah, a
Yes.
good fist. And it's very
Fistfuls.
protective of your blood sugar, though. For guys, for people with
Yeah.
more muscle.
yeah, like you can have the fist.
Some
you can have the
people can
mounds.
do like
I'm
that
a guy
full
with
cup or a
muscle.
little more.
You're just a guy that
We're all
burns.
so different.
Oh,
We are
okay.
talking to
was like, how am I
metabolically
being
challenged
seen?
people.
Yes, metabolically challenged people. The crossover is you look at your fistfuls or your 45 net gram carb. Now, people that like you naturally, or people that train, they're in the gym. I can put down 2 sweet potatoes
Yeah.
and it's not going to spike my blood sugar. So you just got to know who you are.
Yeah, so crossovers are perfect for those in maintenance or anyone with greater metabolic needs, like children or pregnant or nursing women. But anyway, so then we've got fuel pools, and I'm just doing this really quick. Fuel pools are the foods with low amounts of both fats and carbs. Think non-starchy vegetables. They don't have fats, and they have like 2 net grams of carbs. They're your nothings. They're full of micronutrients, but they don't have a significant. They don't have any macronutrients.
Why
in
the
them.
phrase fuel pool?
You're pulling both fuels. You don't have hardly any carbs and you don't have hardly any fats in that
You've
meal.
pulled them out of the meal. you mean.
Basically, you just got an anchored protein meal with some micronutrients in there
Yeah.
and some fiber. Incredibly slimming, but not slimming.
Not to be abused.
If you live on those, you will tank your metabolism faster than you can say
Jack Robinson.
Jack Robinson.
Who is Jack
And so you
Robinson?
just throw them. You can have them for
Phrase.
snacks from time to time.
Yeah.
Not any of us, but people who are needing to lose
Yeah.
weight. And you can have them. Do you know when they're great, even for us? At midnight or something stupid.
Oh, yeah,
When you're
when
like
you're
a red eye
yeah.
flight and you should be asleep and not thinking about food, but you're awake
And
and,
you
you're
just need to
starved.
tell your belly to just stop it.
So
Yeah,
you just
it's
eat something
lean,
sane.
So fuel pools are like your lean protein, not your fatty protein. They're your non-starchy vegetables. They're and some berries. Berries are not very high in carbs. so
like
berries.
if you just want to put some egg whites in a non-stick pan with just a
Yeah.
sprinkle of nutritional yeast and make it crispy. Sometimes I do that late at night instead of like peanut
Yeah.
butter and a spoon.
And
you
then
know?
the last one, S helpers, and they are like an S meal, right? These are great, but they had a little bit of carb for nourishment, so not as much as a crossover. They're great for pregnant women
and people with diabetes
Yeah.
that actually are just they get shaky too, so
Yeah.
they can't take carbs but they need carbs. You know,
Yeah, so sometimes. So what have we got? Summarize. We've got 3 weight loss meals. We've got S. On this lifestyle, we eat a meal or snack every 3 to 4 hours.
yes, we do.
But we don't graze on food all through the day.
Yes, can we talk about what that looks like?
We
Or
can.
Can that take your control away?
No, I allow that to
Okay.
happen.
That's good though.
Well,
we don't graze.
She said
Yeah.
we have a meal or a snack, or we eat a proper something, a thought out something every 3 to 4 hours. And that's different than constantly grazing, because when you graze, you don't know what's going to go in the mouth. You just folding clothes. You see a
Yes.
Dorito there on the side of the couch that your child just left.
Or
and
even
you eat it.
or even healthy foods, but
Mm-hmm.
You
eaten
clean
wrong.
out your purse. There's a cheese stick in there.
That's-
Well, why not? Of
course.
Just eat it. Or you just, it's like, sorry to say, husband, if you ever listen to these podcasts, but
He
it's like
doesn't.
my husband. He'll just walk past the bench and there'll be a salsa and chips out from the children. He'll just have like 3 or 4 and then he'll do something else like that, mindless. And then he'll say, I haven't eaten it all today. I need some lunch. But he's
Yeah.
probably had 3 lunches just with that
Well,
subconscious
here's the deal.
passing.
There's science behind the reason we say 3 to 4. And it doesn't have to be 3 for you, but it shouldn't go longer than 4. This is a science behind it. Serene said, well thought out. You need your protein in this snack or meal. And so a lot of times when we're grazing, we're not thinking about protein. We're doing little bits of carbs and little bits of grapes
He's
here
holding
and
his
there.
hand up with his arm
we're
again.
doing cheese, but where's our protein anchored meal? Yes, Danny, with the hand up.
If you're grazing, what if it's like healthy things from the earth, like nuts and what are the little goji berries?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
now is it
saying
good to graze?
I'm saying no, because there's a time for everything, like Ecclesiastes says in the Bible.
Yeah.
There's a time to dance, there's a time to mourn, there's a time to eat, and there's a time to shut your
You
gob,
you're gonna
right?
hit me with
The
scripture.
time to shut your
Because
gob.
that allows the digestion to properly happen. It's like what happens with the dryer. Okay, you put clothes in the dryer, but what if you constantly add something wet in there the whole time? It just
She ain't gonna
lengthens
dry.
things. You're not taking in food, digesting food,
Having a
emptying
nice
out.
rise in
Okay.
blood sugar, and then having a good
Okay.
clear.
A good
Rise and a
clear.
good clear.
Let it clear, Dan.
Could that lead to stomach issues of the
Yes.
constant digestion?
Yes,
It
that
never
makes
gets a
bloating
second.
God
God
so much
created
worse.
fluffs, but constant snacking is what man has created more.
Yeah.
But I want to say
You
something.
said that like it was right out of the Bible.
No, but you get too full. And it's what Pearl and I call bitsy eating. When you have a bit here and a bit there and a bit there, when it comes to proper fueling, you don't have the room for a good solid anchor of protein, at least 25 grams, and your good macros in there, or if you're losing weight, the ones you've chosen to put on a teeter-totter. You don't have the room for that when
No.
you've been bitsying here and
And
there.
Serena, listen, we're not perfect. This is something that we always say to each other when we do this, oh, I wrecked my meal.
Yes.
Meaning, we started grazing in between, so when we
Yeah.
come to have our proper smart
Yeah,
meal,
yeah.
we don't really care to do it. We don't have the appetite for
We
a
just
proper
need to
meal.
finish it off with another piece
so
of
we just
toast.
keep grazing and doing stupid stuff. Yes, Dan with the hand up.
So I find this problem happens to me when I'm making the meals for my family. I graze
Yeah.
on everything I'm making.
Yes.
Because,
It's a
you got to
big
take,
problem.
how's it going? Like the
Yeah,
chef.
yeah.
I'll sit at the grill and, like cut a piece and it's like, oh yeah, that's all, that's pretty good. That's close. Or if I'm cutting watermelon.
Yeah, well, you
ooh.
have to. Hold on. You have to have a couple of pieces.
Couple of pieces, but you
No,
have to
no,
have
no.
your stop button.
No,
Then
that doesn't
And if
exist.
you don't have a stop button,
I don't.
then you
Not
go
with
for your meal
watermelon.
and you just shoved full of watermelon.
Well, especially summertime watermelon,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because and it's now seedless, because of
Yeah.
wizards, and
I'm
you know.
annoyed. Can I just sidetrack?
Yeah, it's your
Beforehand, at least we
podcast.
got a choice in the matter. Seedless, seeded.
we don't even have a choice.
We don't even have a choice anymore.
I never
Makes
thought about it.
Me mad. Even as
Monsanto
as
again.
of even 1 year ago, I still had a choice. This year, no choice.
That's
Something's
true.
up.
What's up with that? Where are the seeds?
I know.
Who's hoarding the seeds, John?
John, would you ever eat a seedless watermelon? Because you're a purist. Do you know where seeded watermelons are? You
Of course,
do.
he knows where
Would you eat a
seeded
seedless
watermelon-
one or no? You'd think they're out to get me. John won't
Because
eat a seedless
it's
watermelon.
hybridized. It's been messed with.
They're
Is
out
the only way to
us.
get a seedless watermelon to rig it with chemicals?
No, it's
It's a hybrid.
They can't hear him.
John's-
Oh, but
John's
so it's
saying
not
it's
chemicals.
hybrid.
It's more of a
Yeah,
crossbreeding
it's
situation.
not chemicals.
Okay.
Artificially manipulated.
Yeah, they artificially manipulate the seeds. So if you're a
Something's
purist
up.
like John, you will find a source for seeded
I mean,
watermelons.
that's
Just
fair.
talk to John, Serene. He'll
Yeah.
set you up.
John
So
set me
let's
up.
talk about this timing again, right? It's not even rocket science. So we think, oh, okay, every 3 to 4 hours, and people start calculating and getting out their math. It's easy. All it is breakfast, lunch, afternoon snack, then dinner. Now, if you're hungry in the morning and you wake up early, or you got to do your protein fueling after a workout mid-morning, then you have another snacks.
And
But
there are
it's-
different people, and we have to know who we are. I need to eat sooner. I will never stretch it to 4 hours unless the world has come to an end, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what could distract me to keep it to 4 hours. I've got a fast metabolism like you. I get hungry at the 2 hour point often, and I'll just think to myself, I don't want to wreck that protein fueling that's coming up. So maybe I'll just have
A carrot,
Yeah,
non-starchy
I'll
carrot.
have non-starchy
Don't forget the
veggies.
carrots.
carrots can
Yeah.
bridge meals.
Yes.
They bridge all my meals.
If you're starving,
and an apple
But
sometimes.
I will never have breakfast, lunch. I have breakfast always mid-morning, lunch, mid-afternoon, dinner, and
Yes.
something before bed.
This reminds me of the scene in Lord of the Rings where they're like, "What about supper, dinner,
Yeah.
Tuesdays, 3
second
o'clock?"
breakfast.
Like they eat like every hour.
But
Right.
all-
But I
all I'm
won't
saying-
stupidly snack except for sometimes.
Yeah, no,
But-
all I'm saying, there's a time, I think, we be smart usually, and I think there's days that you just take off. Like yesterday for us, and you're listening to this probably 2 or 3 weeks ahead, was 4th of July. I woke up and said, Pearl, none of your timing today. You're going to grace. Because
You
why
you woke up
not?
and said it, didn't
It's
you?
like, even in biblical times, they had feast days.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like, sometimes you just break the rules.
That is so
yeah.
you
This
to
is a
be
breaker
to be
ruler.
conscious of
Yeah.
what you're going to do with your food that day.
Right.
Because I'm not conscious of what I'm going to do with my food that day. In the moment, I'm making better choices.
Yeah.
But you both are like my heroes in this area because you get out of bed and you're like, what will be for breakfast? Like,
Yeah.
what are we gonna?
No,
like,
sorry,
you
we
start
planned
to
that
think.
the night before.
Oh, you're even
We
yeah.
thought about it. I mean, I
That's
don't know.
wild. Is that a woman thing or is that a you
No,
thing?
it's just because we
know.
love food and we love honoring our bodies with healthy food. It's so fun.
I'll tell you this. Today, it was maybe the first where I woke up and I thought, I have time to make breakfast. And that's where the coffee came too. Because I was like, I'm going to do a breakfast.
Yeah.
And so when I was doing a breakfast,
You
I
do
was
your
like taken
coffee.
back to the 90s.
When there was a tablecloth.
Yeah, when when Matt, what's his name from Friends, did the Coca-Cola Classic commercial.
Don't remember
You
that.
can't
Lost.
beat it. You can't beat it. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The feeling you get from a Coca-Cola
Oh, that's a good song.
Classic.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Oh, dude! I mean, I get goosebumps on that commercial. You got to go back and watch it.
Really?
It's too. Even though it's Coke, I see your face and I feel your
No,
spirit.
no,
but-
I can. No, you didn't feel no spirit.
I
We
know.
we
Because-
can appreciate a good ad, like some
Yeah.
beer
Oh,
ads. I mean,
Beer
Oh.
not the latest ones. Oh my goodness, but the good old ones with the men with their look like men.
the horses.
Yeah, so
and the horses.
I saw that commercial the other day and I just about teared up because it was so good and so like, man, they just captured the spirit
Yeah.
of
You know the Tui ads in Australia? Give me a Tui's. You know that
Yeah.
beer ad? Oh, no.
Foster's,
Or
all
the-
them
I've
good
never even
ads.
tasted beer, but I'm telling those ads were awesome.
Well, then I thought about the Folgers commercials.
Yeah,
the
they used
which-
to make me cry.
I
It's
know
so
they don't
good.
do ads like that anymore. Like the best part, it was always like the
waking
male
up,
vocal.
Folgers in your cup.
Folgers, and like, and it's just like
You
steaming.
want that coffee.
Yeah, and they're
Folgers
looking out-
is foul. Sorry
Yeah.
for precious Folgers.
No, it's
But it doesn't taste good. But their ads were
The
amazing.
ads are so
You
good.
got
and
to
they're-
tell them when they do
Oh.
good stuff, and they did good ads.
So that was me this morning.
Yeah.
And I was just like, the best part. And I was like pouring that steaming coffee in the cup and I added the cream and I was just like a girl with a Starbucks just looking out.
Could you be
over-
a guy with a Starbucks?
No, because guys are
for
just like,
once.
because he was
"Coffee."
in his Daisy Jukes. So
Girls with Starbucks, they are emotional about.
It's
they
true.
hold it and they hold
Yeah.
it like this with two hands, and they're like, and they get, what I'm talking about. Their shoulders go up, and
Yeah.
they're just like,
You still like Mr. Bean.
and then they look out. They look out into their dreams, and then they look back at their broken dreams, which is the reality of their life because they just had their second baby, and it's still yellow pooping up its back.
Yeah.
But that's
And they're
the
like,
stuff.
this isn't supposed to be.
But
it's
that's
not
the
supposed
stuff
to
dreams
be.
are made out of. Yellow
Yeah,
poop is such
I
great
miss that
poop.
yellow
But they're
poop.
learning that,
Yeah, they're learning
but
that,
they
but
have
they-
their
yeah.
coffee, their
Yeah,
nookie, and it
it's
says,
true.
"You're okay, baby girl. Mommy's
it does.
here."
It does say that.
And that was me this morning. That's
Yeah.
my point.
Mummy was there for you.
Okay, so listen, all this timing business, I mean, if you're a newbie, at first it kind of sounds maybe complicated. So not. Anyone who's done this plan for, a few months, few years, it's breathing in, it's breathing out, it's effortless. It's just a way, like Danny said, when he kind of got that playing with the seesaw and he got into his head, it's just a way of taking control and doing it without ruining your metabolism at the same time. And so, you know what? We should save. It's 50 minutes in.
Are we doing a part 2?
Yeah, we should do a part 2 because
Yes.
I wanted to go into the whys of why aren't
Pearl.
we kicking out carbs? Why aren't we kicking out fats?
Chat, 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 chat.